smells fish. It's really good and really good. It won't even chop up anymore. But yeah, that's good. The next part is the curing process. And the curing process is by putting it into sandwich bags and then putting it into the freezer. And when it freezes, gets nice and hard and stuff, it's when it's cured. It's when you can throw it into the water and it won't just fall apart. Like right now, it will just fall apart. But when you put it in the freezer and it cures, gets nice and hard, it won't fall apart. So let's go ahead and put them into sandwich bags. Actually, we only got one sandwich bag left, so I'm going to have to use a different type of bag, which is going to be much bigger. But this is a sandwich bag, and I usually put a quarter of a cup of food in there. And the reason why you only put a quarter of a cup in there, so you put the quarter of a cup in there and then you make it nice and flat, so it's still pretty flat, and then you can control on how much food you give them. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a spoon because the other bags are much bigger, so I'm just going to have to figure out how much I have to put in there. Got a big solid spoon, and that actually looks about a quarter cup, if not a little bit more than a quarter of a cup than what I usually put in these bags. But yeah, so you got about that much, and then what you do is you close the top a little bit, but make sure it's still kind of open so the air can get out, and then you make it nice and flat. You just kind of squish it. You can see the squid. That's funny. I hope they like squid. They should. I see why they wouldn't. Might be a little chewy, but it has good minerals and vitamins, so squid is not a bad choice. But yeah, that actually worked out perfect. So that was about perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and just close it completely off. Nothing can get out. And like I said, you want to have it nice and skinny. Oops. Alright, now it won't actually move around when you put it in the fridge and it cures and it freezes. But yeah, you want it nice and skinny because so when you break off a piece, you break it off a piece to feed 1 or 2 fish, not 200 fish. That looks interesting, huh? There's the steak and all the squid and stuff. I hope they like it, but we will find out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest in a really big bag. Put the rest in a really big bag, and we're just going to squish that out. And it's going to be a little bit fatter, but hey, it will be just okay. It's actually not that bad. It's about perfect. It's a little fat, that's for sure. It's about perfect. So yeah, you can see it's still green. That extra spoonful of peas might have made it a little too green, but it's definitely looks awfully red. So hopefully they like this. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the freezer and let it cure, and then I will feed later on today. But this is very cheap as long as you already have like the majority of product. Like this right here, I think costs about 15 bucks, but when you have it, it's going to last you a year or two, you know, because you barely use it unless you use it for yourself as well. Same thing with this, about 10-15 bucks, but if you barely use it, it's a month's worth, you know. So if you only really use it, you know, there and there for your fish and whatnot. And then paprika is a spice, you know, I don't know, 2-3 bucks, you know, whatever. But if you already have this stuff, the fish was only $1. The shrimp was only like $2. I got 12 of them. And then the baby food is only like $1. You know, so in total I spent maybe 5 bucks on this food today. And yeah, I mean, if you already have eggs laying around, you know, if you had to go buy eggs, I recommend getting some organic eggs. So I got a 6-pack of organic eggs, and that was like 3 bucks. So we're at 8 bucks now. And then if you need to get a bottle of water, get some clean water, that's $1, and that's 9 bucks, you know. So all in all, you know, and if you need to get some sandwich bags, you know, go to a dollar store. But all in all, it shouldn't cost you no more than 5 to 10 bucks, you know, depending on what you already have at the house, you know. If you have to buy everything brand new, it might cost you 50 bucks, you know, to get all the vitamins But if you go that far by buying everything brand new, you might as well go get some real beef heart and some bloodworms and all types of coolness and just make the best fish food ever. But yeah, alright guys, I'm gonna let that go ahead and cure. When you put it in the freezer, make sure it sits on a nice flat surface and then let it cure. A couple hours later, you get it out and feed it to your fish and see what happens. Hey, this is what it kind of should look like. It was on a complete flat surface, but you get the idea. Nice and hard. Let's go ahead and feed a piece and see if they like it or not. I got myself a pretty big piece here, and we're gonna try to feed the fish here. Alright. They're excited. So what I usually do is turn off the power so it doesn't get thrown all over the place. And yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it, because if they don't like it, I just want to be able to get it right back out without it being in a corner or something. If they do like it, I don't want it to, you know, break apart and then it goes all over. Oh, we already got a bite already? What you thinking, girl? That's Mrs. You want to take a bite? Give it a try. Come on, I put all that effort into that food. You don't want it? It's too hard? It's still frozen? You're like, I don't eat it when it's frozen. And he's beautiful. She looks like a hot mess. But, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. What are you guys doing? Do I need to push it down? There we go. Come on guys, eat in front of the camera. Tell me that you like the food that I made, yeah. What I might do is pause the video so it's not like 10 hours long. You know what I'm saying? Well, come on girl, get yourself something. You were the one who was interested. Get yourself a bite. Do it. Yeah. You got yourself a bite. Nice. Rip that thing up. What about you, boy? You gonna get yourself some too? Now you gotta remember, there's all types of weird things in there, but I try to keep it very, very heavily on the meat side, you know what I'm saying? But it does have some squid and, you know, steak, regular steak, you know what I'm saying? So that might be something, you know. I had to catch a scared fish jumping up in the window. But see, that's one reason why. You see how the debris is floating around? So if they don't actually like it or whatever they don't finish, I can just siphon out real quick. Because homemade food, especially using egg to hold it together, it's gonna make your aquarium really messy, really fast. So I recommend, you know, turning off the power. She's eating, that's awesome. What about you, boy? You coming out, you trying to mate again. I saw you all big and puffy. You gonna get yourself a bite? Don't play around, get yourself a bite. That food was actually for you because you had problems pooping like 2 weeks ago. But he's doing great. Ever since he got that poop out like 2 weeks ago, he had a hard time pooping for like 3 days, but when he finally got it out, he was swimming right again. But yeah, he's doing great. He does what he does. Guess he's not interested in the food. She was. Huh. Alright. Well, you too, you know, at least they took a bite, or at least she did, and he's not too interested, but when he gets hungry enough, he will eat it. But it is a little interesting. Got squid in there, you know, it's kind of chewy. It's not really a freshwater animal. What cichlids would find in the freshwater, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a squid. And then we put steak in there instead of beef heart, you know, I don't know. But yeah, she ate it. Well, YouTube, that is the video on the fish food. I wish you an awesome night, and y'all be good. Laters.